Hello, Spartans. I'm your host, Get Good Fox, and it's time for another map exploration video. This time we are going to the first of the medium-sized maps, Behemoth. I think it's actually pronounced Behemoth, so I don't know. Someone's corrected me on it before. But we will be exploring its geometry and all of the various item pickups and think about how we can use our knowledge of the map to our advantage. It is a bigger map, so it might take a little bit longer, but I might be able to use some of the vehicles to cut down on it. See you on the surface. Behemoth. Very flexible map. I've noticed that you just saw a vehicle there, but I don't think vehicles appear in competitive. They only appear in casual, and that's what makes this map very flexible. The idea that it can be it's big enough to accommodate vehicles, but it's not so big that no vehicles are a problem. As you can see right here, we've got some man cannons that allow us to travel quickly, allowing the massive size of the map to be less of an issue. So let's start in the back over here. I don't think there are going to be any pickups in the immediate area, but you know, Bungie, or not Bungie, 343 loves to kind of just hide things around. This is the kind of the perfect vehicle to just kind of cruise around in. We'll go ahead and use this mongoose. Oh, and that's awesome. I can even use the, oh yeah, I should probably say it every episode. You can push down on the D-pad to send this little pulse out, and it will help you find objects of interest. So, let's go ahead and take a look. First up, we've got a commando rifle. Remember that the items are semi-random, and as I said, on competitive, there won't be any vehicles. I haven't seen any vehicles, at least. So, take it with a grain of salt. Keep in mind that also that the spawns are logical. Like, if it's not a commando rifle, it'll probably be a battle rifle. Like, they try to keep them replaced with a similar thing. Same. If it's not a disruptor, maybe it's a mangler. So there's another one. These, as I said, are man cannons. We will take a look at those real quick. Let's see what's up here, though. Looks like nothing. I believe the flag, because I do play CTF on this a lot, the flag would be right here out in the open. One thing to know is when you're bringing the flag back, you can clamber with the flag in your hand. So you won't drop it. No need to worry there. Let's take a look underneath. And what we have here, normally for me, this is typically a needler, and I typically would prefer if it's a needler, as I'm much better with it. We also have some dynamo grenades, which are pretty handy in this area. Also, we've got ourselves the one of the power items of the map. Normally there are more, but we have this. It can be either an active camo or it can be a overshield. It's very, very exposed. It's also one of the ways to bring the flag back. Like if you grab the flag, one of your options is to take this kind of like under. It's called, I guess, the name for it is bottom mid. I call it like the bottom bridge. But yeah, that's what we've got so far. Let me go ahead and grab the sentinel beam, and let me show you how the man cannons work. I assume most people know what these are, but hey, I don't know. Maybe there's some very new people. So this thing basically gives you a huge boost onto these side platforms, which is where we have another power item. Now, the power item spawns are not always the same. Like this is, in competitive, the sniper rifles, I feel like they spawn like right about here. And right about, it would be on the opposite side, so over there. But you see these little side platforms? That's usually where I would expect it to spawn, but in competitive, they also are snipers. And that comes to the idea that
long-range weapon.
If you're not good with a sniper rifle, that is not good on this map. But being bad is fine because you can get better. But the real problem is if you are getting if you're ignoring the sniper rifle because you know you're bad, that's the problem. If you're bad with the sniper rifle, you just better grab it anyways and just miss all your shots. Just take some shots because you're going to run into situations where you are the one who kills the enemy sniper and the sniper rifle's in your hands, and because you're not practicing with it, you can't make the most of it, and that's bad. So over here we've got ourselves our disruptor. One thing I learned, I was watching the Halo Championship Series qualifiers. See that? Pretty neat, isn't that? Like, you can use it to jump higher. Let me see if I combine it with a jump. Yeah, look at that. You see how much higher you went? The professionals and the semi-pros were actually using that as a way to platform up to higher ledges that you typically wouldn't be able to jump to. Very, very handy. I saw another pro use it to blow somebody away from a power item. So it's actually a very handy. Basically, the repulsor is only as useful as you are able to creatively find uses for it. So we got one on each side in that under area. Let's spend a little more time over here. Actually, let me bring, where's my mind? Oh, look at that, we just found something. See, that's one of the things I'm worried about on this map is because it's so big, like, we're gonna miss some of the nooks and crannies where things are, and that's what we're looking for. We're looking for, like, what are the little advantages we can get? So I didn't even know this was here, even having played on it multiple times. So what we have here is a pulse carbine. That's probably not a bad map. Wow, so what a cool view. Like, what is that thing? That's awesome. Yeah, it's like a whole bunch of, like, power cables or something. Anyways, I get distracted. I bet this pulse carbine is pretty good, as the pulse carbine, the shots home in if you're locked onto them, and that means it's pretty good as a more distant weapon. Let's continue onwards, though.
An escape vehicle.
So over here we've got... Okay, so this side got a rocket hog, and the other side got a brute chopper. I gotta say, in general, it's typically not a rocket for me. Typically, it's just a normal Warthog, so that's kind of interesting. It also implies you would obviously want to go for this if your team is more cooperative. Like, if you're playing with a buddy who's going to cooperate with you, that would be the superior one. Whereas if you're playing by yourself, you'd want to go for the brute chopper, since it doesn't require any assistance. So it looks like we've got a... Oh,
S7 sniper.
I was expecting that to be another pulse carbine. But what we have here is another power weapon. Now, I'll be the first to admit, I haven't really been a fan of this weapon. Like, I don't understand why you would use it. I don't think it's very powerful. Let's see how long it takes to destroy this Warthog. So when you fully charge it, it releases flames. But as you can see, a direct hit, it just didn't do a darn thing to it. Like, I don't see it. It's not falling apart. Like, the direct hits seem to be doing a bit more damage. And it's finally dead. So overall, I don't know. I don't think this weapon is very good. Maybe you guys understand a better use for it than I do, but my opinion on it is that it's kind of not very good. So over here, it's mirroring. We got ourselves another mongoose, which is, you know, handy for just getting around. And on their side of the field, I would expect everything to be the same, so we should have a commando rifle over here. We do. And if we... Oh, okay, so here's something to know. This is a gravity elevator up, but from the middle area, we can drop down into here. So one of your options, if you were to grab a flag, is you could grab it here. A lot of people are going to do this. They're going to grab the flag, and they're going to take the man cannon off to the side. I would recommend that the path you take should be completely based on where the enemy and the allies are. So when you grab it, if you see there's good guys there, then take the man cannon. If there's enemies there, then you go this way. If there's enemies on both sides, you can take the middle. If they've got sniper coverage, then you might want to go through the middle. It just depends. Like, it just means there's a lot of different ways you can go. But my point is, you can actually just drop right down here, and it puts you right on top of this grenade pad, and right behind is either a sentinel beam or a needler. If it's a needler, that's really, really good. The needler, as well as a grappling hook. Not sure how handy the grappling hook would come in this map, but you know it is there. And of course, like I said, it would bring you back to this center area. And if there must be a way. If there's a gravity elevator, what would be the point of that? There must be a way up. What is this place? See, yeah, like. Okay, let's see if we can find down below. Where is it? Huh. How would you get to that? What is the point of that elevator if there's no way to utilize it? What's the point of the elevator? Okay, so that's the way down. What is this? What am I looking at? I don't know. What is this? Maybe, oh, we haven't explored the middle area yet. That's what this is. I have never used this in my life. Interesting. Very interesting. I have never used that. Okay, that's the perfect time to talk about the, let me get my mongoose back. That's the perfect time to talk about the central platform, because I think that is the final area we haven't explored. And this is actually going a lot fast. I was expecting this to be like maybe like a 30-minute walkthrough, but that doesn't appear to be the case. Let me see, there's nothing around here. Oh, let's check to see if the the item spawns are identical. So this, if it's kind of like a mirror opposite, because I'm not looking at it. Okay, Halo. Then this, wait, what happened to my hand? What's happening? Okay, anyways. Okay, so this is the carbine, and then that I'm assuming, I think it's safe to assume that over there it is a, what do you call it? I can't even remember the name of that weapon. It's not the cinder shot. It's the, like, that's why I can't remember the name. It's such a, oh god, oh no! Oh. Okay. It's called the Ravager. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't ravage anything except my brain cells, to be completely honest. Vehicle. Here we go. Alright, so here's the center field. As you can see, you would never want to go here while the enemy has the sniper rifle. Like, not only does that sniper overlook it, but that sniper overlooks it. And even if they don't have sniper rifles, you have basically no cover anywhere, minimal cover, and in competitive, they're going to have battle rifle starts. So, yeah, you do have these grenade pickups, though. That is actually fairly... Okay, grenade pickups are going to be extra relevant because you are going to want some way to combat enemy vehicles. And the dynamo grenades are pretty good because you can shut the vehicles down, but obviously sticking vehicles directly with plasma grenades, it does a lot of damage to them as well as to the crew inside. So I feel fairly confident in that is all of the items. What I'm going to do is take a jump cut, and I'm going to make sure that I didn't miss anything. Okay, so I drove around and scanned the area. I didn't see anything, so instead, let's talk about some of what I would consider to be the relevant items. So I think that the Repulsor is pretty relevant because, well, one of its uses is to simply knock people off of into the pits and whatnot. In fact, there's a medal for doing that. So I think that that is a very realistic possibility here. In addition to that, there's just a lot of platforms that you might be able to like repel people away from it just to kind of dislodge them from their position of advantage. Obviously, the overshields and the camo are always going to be really useful. Dynamo grenades, I think not only are they going to be good down here because... one, if you have dynamo grenades, you'd want to fight down here, because like right in that area right there, just easy tosses with the dynamo grenades. You're going to cause a lot of problems to people's shields and mow them down. And right behind it, I do it all the time. Like, anytime I spawn, I get the needler or whatever spawns here. I just grab it because it gives you, if it's the needler, it basically gives you 3 kills if you catch people in the open, because the needler is just such a deadly weapon. So I think that's a really relevant one. The dynamo grenade's also relevant for defeating enemy vehicles, which will appear in casual. One thing that's kind of interesting is that there's not a lot of normal weapons, so like if you didn't get your hands on a good weapon, you're not going to have a lot of choices here. It looks like, I mean, you've got basically your sniper, not the sniper, you got your commando rifle or battle rifle, and then over there was the plasma carbine. This item here is relevant, and now that we have vehicles, we can actually show you the effects of this weapon. Basically, if we put a few shots, and let's actually count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 shots, and now that you've seen this, that means that the vehicle is shut down, and while it's in that state, it just shuts the engines off. Also, notice that you see this kind of lingering electricity. Watch when it fades. You see how it's staying there? That's actually a damage over time effect. Like, if you get shot with it, it'll electrify you, and while that electrification is going on, it will continue to do, like, basically, like, poison damage to you, which will both stop your shields from regenerating, and obviously it also does damage. So, basically, just because you don't have, like, a heavy-duty weapon to destroy vehicles, you need to be aware of the... kind of alternative ways to manage vehicles. And speaking of which, another relevant spawn is going to be right here. Just doesn't matter if it's sticky grenades or brute spike grenades. any type of sticking grenade is going to be really good against vehicles. Obviously, another very relevant spawn is going to be the power weapon. It seems to always be the sniper rifle, whether if it's in competitive, like on that platform, or if it's right here, or maybe it's just different spawns depending on how you play the game. But you're going to need to know how to use the sniper. And if you're afraid to use the sniper, then it's time to just start sucking and missing all your shots and just pulling the trigger and getting good with the sniper. That's really all you can do. Anyways, I think it's time to do some respawn exercises, and I will... Yeah. Okay, so rather than consider, am I on the right, like, what base am I at? Like, because I think they're basically identical, and I didn't see any markers. We just know that we're at a base, and what that means, now, what I always do, this is very common, so when I die, this is what I always do. I just go, shaboodly-doodly into here. That gets me my dynamo grenades, and then I would just grab this. And just right off the bat, look at that. I spawned in, I already have dynamo grenades, and I've got a weapon that if I clash with an enemy, this sentinel beam, it will outshoot the assault rifle. You do need to have the aim. You need to have the aim. And then on top of that, you could even grab this. Bam. You'd have like a full set of gear. You'd have 2 weapons. You'd have special grenades, an advanced, a better weapon, and then you would also have a piece of equipment. And of course, you're obviously in line to get this. Keep in mind, if you're bringing the flag through here, you're very likely to get detonated with, or not detonated, but sniped out. So let's take ourselves another spawn. So I'm thinking that we're probably just going to get... I feel like we're just always going to spawn in this kind of area. So what we need to know, what's relevant is, let's see if, just from here, if I can remember where things are. We know a commando rifle is there, a disruptor is over there. Down below, we've got our, what do you call it, either the sentinel beam or a needler. We got the grappling hook is right there. We got your dynamo grenades, you got your active camo. Over there, we've got a vehicle spawn and the sniper. It mirrors on the other side. Sniper, another vehicle spawn. Mongoose spawns on the side. And then on top of that, we've got the plasma carbine. The way we know which one it is the plasma carbine is the one that is closer. And the, what do you call it? Well, I guess it would depend on what direction you're looking at. Because this one is the plasma carbine. And if we went to the opposite side... It should be the Ravager, so I guess it just depends on if you know your left and your right on it, which, like, I probably wouldn't remember that just because there doesn't seem to be a significant, a major identifier between the two of them. Yeah, and this was a Ravager. Okay, so it is kind of mirrored like looking in a mirror where it's reversed. So now you know that on one side there's going to be a pulse carbine, and then on the other side, like, I'm not sure if there's like a way to like identify that. And then of course, like I said, if you're looking for more anti-vehicle options, you've got your plasma grenades. We know that there is an elevator to both bases facing off against each other there, and you can also drop down here, which lands you right on your dynamo grenades and your items. So, like, it's funny, like, I still learned a lot. Like, I didn't know anything about those spawns off to the side, but just from me playing the match, like, that's just the strategy that I had devised right there that I really enjoyed, dropping down this chute right into this had been paying me really good dividends, getting into, like I said, if it was often a needler, but I would still take a sentinel beam. Sentinel beam will absolutely melt people if you can get them on. I don't think I'm going to do any more respawn exercise because I have a feeling, like, I'll do, like, let me just blow myself up one more time. And once again, yeah, we're inside one of the bases because this is the chute that I'm talking about right here, right on top of those. Got a weapon. Oh, okay, I'm about to say, hold on a second, what is this doing here? But then I realized I just traded it out, and then there might have been a grappling hook right there. Okay, there's the sentinel beam. So that was faster than I thought. It actually was quicker, because the funny thing is, there are a lot of weapons. Well, actually, no, it kind of feels like there's not that many weapons, and there's even fewer weapons if you consider the landmass of the overall level of Behemoth. So, like, it definitely feels like... One, I would expect our opponents, if they don't know the map, they are mainly going to be fighting with their default equipment, which in competitive is going to be a battle rifle, in casual, it's going to be assault rifle, pistol. So if people don't know the map, if they don't know where the spawns are, they're probably just going to see this and that, and then they're just going to be fighting with their default equipment. So if they don't know the map, then, well, you knowing the map is going to be quite the advantage. On the other hand, if they do know the map, well, there's not very many weapon choices, so a lot of people, even if they come to pick up a weapon, there's a good chance that if everyone knows where the weapon spawns are, you're still going to be boxed into using your starting equipment. So I think, once again, it's going to be one of these things where if you're not handy with the battle rifle in competitive, that's a really big problem, because this is a map where it's going to be feast or famine. I think that's the way to do it. If people don't know the map, it's going to be feast. All the weapons are going to be yours. If everyone does know where the weapons are, then there's a good chance it's going to be famine, where you're going to be stuck with the basic equipment each time. So it's another example where you need to know how to use both, because, yeah, there's not a lot of weapons, not necessarily weapons available for everyone. And then, of course, I got to hammer it home that if you're dealing with vehicles, make sure you understand the soft counters to vehicles. Like this disruptor, it's not like a hard counter, like it's not going to just tear the vehicle apart, but just knowing things that stop the vehicle from like blasting your butt so easily, really, really important. Anyways, let me know what you think down in the comment section. Do you have any ideas of how to use the Ravager? I think that thing is terrible, but I don't know. Maybe you guys know how to use it and I just don't. So let me know what you think down in the comment section. Anyways, yeah, like the video if it was informative, subscribe for future Halo Infinite content, and of course remember that you don't have to be good to get good.